Patrick's Day we're talking about is Friday, and of course state police all across our state of Michigan are looking to keep everyone safe on the roadways. Jason, who do you have there?
Well, we have Lieutenant Mike Shaw. Thank you for coming in early this morning.
You're welcome.
Starting tomorrow, agencies all over Michigan will be cracking down on drunk driving. You and I were talking before the segment. It's actually on the rise. You would think with Uber and Lyft and ride sharing and so on and so forth that the stats would be going down, but it's actually on the rise.
And that's what's kind of puzzling to us as well, because, you know, so many different opportunities out there between a designated driver walking, climbing on somebody's back and getting a piggyback ride. We don't care how you get there, but still people are choosing to get behind the wheel and drive. 2015, 303 people were killed by drunk drivers. That's 303 moms, dads, brothers, sisters that we'll never see again just because a drunk got behind the wheel.
You know, and it was 0.15, then a 0.12, then 0.10. There are states going to 0.08, and even lower. Mm-hmm. You predict that one day we'll have zero tolerance.
I think that eventually, as citizens get tired of this on the roadway and the options of all these things to come up and be able to get rides and get different things aren't working, they're going to look at probably making a zero tolerance law. And
is it still roughly 10 grand for first offense once you pay all the fines and a lawyer and all that stuff?
I'm right about there, 10 grand. You know, you're going to spend the night in jail no matter what, depending on what city you're in. You know, you could spend a couple of days in there before you actually get in front of the court system and go through the process. You know, so we talk about the courts, we talk about the fines, we talk about all the things that can happen to you. Mm-hmm. But think about even with all that happening, that you have to live with the rest of life realizing that you killed somebody.
What do you make of this culture that we live in where, you know, it's March Madness, beer, booze, St. Patrick's Day, it's Super Bowl, beer, booze, you know, and it's just bombarded, all these beer ads and everything, and then at the same time, stricter drunk driving laws don't seem to be making a difference. Is it part of the culture?
You know, I think that's a little bit, and in no way are we saying, hey, don't have a good time. I like to fill out my bracket, you know, and watch basketball and do that thing, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a way home. You'd be surprised how many people will go out there and the designated driver will be the one that we end up arresting at the end of the night because they just, for some reason, they realize that, oh, you're having a good time drinking, so I'm going to have one or two or three or four or five or six, and the next thing you know, that's the guy that we're picking up.
And that lends credence to the saying, buzz driving is drunk driving.
Absolutely.
All right, Lieutenant, we're out of time. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right.